Welcome to the Broski Devils podcast, the best podcast in all the land. It's your boy Kiko Flow, Kiko Cervantes. Like always, every fucking week we got you with the movie review with the crew. This is a movie review with the crew, and we got the Halloween marathon through this October for you people. And for today's movies, we got the fucking characters right here. Of course, DJ BJ, like always. We got Adrian, and we're doing an old. I mean, it's considered old. It's from 2008.
Yeah.
And it's called The Strangers. The Strangers. This is probably gonna sound very familiar to people because this is a movie that there were parts in the movie where I'm like, did I watch this movie when I was fucking like 15 or some shit?
You probably did.
I probably did. It's with Liv Tyler. It's really the only person I recognize. Oh, and the guy that dies from Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, then
I mean, we haven't even gotten there yet, but okay, thanks for
if you're watching this, stop right now.
Well, it's not spoilers. Not spoilers. I mean, at the end of the day, people know that this podcast, and if not, I'm gonna run through the little process real quick. The idea is that you watch the movie first, and then you watch the podcast. Now, let's say, yo, Kiko, I ain't even gonna watch that movie. The Strangers from 2008, are you fucking retarded? That's fine. You can also listen to the podcast and just fuck around and listen to us, try to be movie critics. But the best experience that you could have is watch the movie first and then come. What we're gonna try to do, as the budget is getting higher, we have more editors, we have more, staff.
Mask and shit.
You have a mask from the fucking movie. You got a movie budget, you got a costume budget. It's all, it's rising. It's rising. We want to thank people that are listening everywhere. But the idea is that we're gonna tell you the movie we're gonna review the next week. And this way, when that episode comes out, you're already ready for it. You don't even have to be like, yo, Kiko, why didn't you even tell me? I would have watched the movie, and now I didn't watch the movie. So we're going to try to do that. We're improving in this shit. I want to send a big hello. That sounded whack as fuck.
Hello.
I meant like...
Big hello.
No, like big... No, not even props. It's not props. It's like a shout out. I want to give a shout out.
Big hello.
I want to say a big hello to everybody. Everybody in the Mickey Mouse Club that we watch. No, everybody in Miami. We always shouting out to Belgium, and we love the Belgium and the Third Age and the residents in Belgium. But it is true, and we don't mention it because we feel like it's it's understood. Our main following, the Broski Doodles, where they keep it, is in Miami. And I want to say hi to all the people in Miami, in South Florida, Orlando, Tampa Bay. Are you in Clearwater? Are you a Scientologist? All right. I mean, I guess if you listen to us, we're cool with you, but.
Yeah, they support us. We support them.
We support them. They support us. Tom Cruise is gonna come in the podcast talk about some movies.
Are you in Gainesville? Are you trying to live the college life for the rest of your life? We support you. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Oh fuck, bro. What about all the kiddos in the universities in Florida?
Ooh.
UF,
on tap market.
FSU,
UM,
UCF,
FIU.
FIU.
Yeah. They're welcome.
No, I know it exists. I'm just saying.
No, they're welcome. They're welcome.
They're welcome too. Okay. Well, I went to Broward Community College when it was still a community college, so there's no shade here if you went to FIU. That's still prestigious.
FIU is coming up. FIU is coming up. If you look at what it's doing, it's doing work.
Adrian went to FIU.
Yeah.
DJ BJ went to FIU. I went once to FIU, but I was just smoking a joint in the park in the back. Finding out what are the requirements if I wanted to expand my knowledge.
In the parking garage.
The only time I went to FIU, I took a Corolla from 97 and I took it all around the park in the evening.
Drifting.
Drifting. Check out wild. They sold that car as new the next day. All right, let's get to it, guys. The fucking Strangers. The Strangers is available on Netflix. And like I said, people that you may recognize, Liv Tyler, looking good.
It's in Lord of the Rings.
Well, it's available on Netflix in Spain.
Oh.
I tried to watch it last night, and I didn't find it. I had to use ExpressVPN to watch it. ExpressVPN, our sponsor for this episode. Damn, that would have been perfect there. We're practicing. We gotta practice for this thing. Thank you, ExpressVPN.
ExpressVPN, thank you for letting us pirate things around the world. No, I'm kidding. That ain't pirating. We're just accessing the information that's already available to other countries. But the strangers, I gotta say right off the bat, even though scary movies are my favorite for two reasons. One, because they scare me. Okay, I'm a little scary guy. But secondly, they're usually just not good. You already sort of know what's gonna happen. It's like this tension that you're already waiting for when the guy's gonna come or the scare. And this movie has all that. But I want to preface with that because I really like the movie, even with those scare tactics that we all know about. And it did feel like a movie from 2008 because it had a different film, a different feel to it that made it. I mean, it was based on a real story, which is crazy, right? Loosely based, right? Because how the fuck do they know what happened?
Yeah, loosely based. The writer combined a couple of massacres that happened in cabins, along with the story of Charles Manson and that whole what is it called, Helter Skelter? What he combined those two things and created a movie out of it.
So he grabbed the Charles Manson murders and a bunch of deaths that had been happening around that town.
Yeah, in some cabins. I don't know what town, but there was some cabin murders that were going on. So he got those two things, put it together, and made this scary fucking.
Well, I know part of our family is going to a cabin in this Christmas, so bring them shotguns, bro. Fuck that. Okay, that was an awkward silence.
I mean, let's get into the movie and we'll discuss why we need those shotguns.
Yeah, but don't worry. Everybody that's watching this should already watch the movie, so there's no problem. But okay, the movie starts with this. I like the start of it when you can feel the tension of this bitch saying no to this guy wanting to get married.
Like even before that, the voiceover guy, like in the beginning with the whole, this is loosely based on the true story. You already know that where this is going. Like this is gonna be an interesting film at the very least. And then when you have that whole tension with the guy in the car and the girl, you're like, what the fuck,
Yeah, it's you never know where the fucking movie's gonna go, and that's why I like it, because there's a part of the movie where my girlfriend is like, oh no, they're ghosts. And we're gonna get into some of these things, like how the fuck these things happen, like these little things. But that's just part of making a scary movie. But you know, is this gonna be a ghost movie? Is it gonna be a thing? Is it gonna be that? It turns out, it's people killing other people, and it's something that is based on something that kind of happening. And I think that shit scared me way more than ghosts and demons. And I don't know if because I'm growing and now I'm less. I mean, don't get me wrong. If there's any ghosts and demons out there, I'm fucking scared. Don't come, don't fuck with me. Like, I respect you guys. You do you. That's cool with me. But it is true that as you get older, you start having family. Some of you have kids. Now the real scary shit is like some real life intruder shit. That's fucking horror right there. But I don't wanna steal the show. What are your first thoughts on this? They get to this cabin after a wedding and they're sort of mad. It's a weird, uncomfortable situation because he asked her to marry her and she said no. But they're still boyfriend and girlfriend, so it's a weird scenario to start off.
Yeah, they weren't even like mad at each other, or he wasn't mad at her. He was kind of just like disappointed, and they were about to have sex too. And he's like, "No, you're my girl. Don't worry about it." But like minutes before that, she wanted nothing to do with him, and he wanted to leave. So it's very weird. And I guess we could talk about this on a separate podcast. So like, what would you do in that situation? That kind of like ruins the whole thing, right?
It didn't seem like she didn't want him. It just seemed like she wasn't ready for a commitment. That's what it seemed like. However, why the fuck are you proposing to your girlfriend at somebody else's wedding? Like, you need to cut that. Like, you can't do that. Like, you make it its own event and do that for her separate from this wedding. Like, you can't just piggyback on that wedding and be like, all right, it's a magical moment. I want to marry you. No. And also, like, how does he just buy like a random ring? Like, look, I can't return this. It means that he already knew her ring size. He already knew all this information about what she wanted or something like that. And now she says, like, there should be a discussion prior to that about whether or not you're going
Well, I think
into
the ring.
this.
Yeah, he could return it. I think it wasn't like a final sale type of thing. It
He,
was
he
like
did.
physically, like it just like hurts. Like it just hurts me too much to send this back.
I
That's what
just
you.
think,
That's what you felt.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think what Adrian is saying, like, it was more like he was just being like, I think at some points he was being a bitch about it too. Like, hey, dude, because like after she said no, he's like, mad, but then he gets the ice cream and then he gets the champagne and he's like, oh yeah, I put all these flowers for you, but whatever. And it's like, dude, just shut the fuck up. Like, either forgive her for that and now you continue to be boyfriend, or you say, hey, fuck this. Like, how can we continue to be boyfriend if you told me you don't want to marry me? Like, we're over type shit.
Right. Trip is over.
Like, I'm not saying that should be the case, right? 'Cause like I said, it's another discussion. If you ask your girlfriend that you have been with for many years to marry and she says no, I mean, technically speaking, she's not saying I don't want to be with you. I just don't want to go to the next step. And we see this happen a lot with men, where it's sort of allowed for men to be like, no, I'm not ready, right? And then it's cool. But in this case, a lot of you felt it because we're men and we're pieces of shit. I was like, oh, she said no, fuck her. For a moment, I'm thinking the guy's gonna take off the mask, and it's a guy. It's like, yo, fuck you, bitch. I planned this because he said no.
Because he left at that point. She said no. He's like, I need to. I don't know what he needed to do. He just got in the car and left.
Oh my
And
god.
then came back, and that's when all the creepy shit was happening.
Oh my god.
Whenever shit was getting dangerous, he's like, yeah, I'm leaving you here. Okay, I'm gonna go
No, you
find
need to stay in here. I need to go into the woods.
Yeah.
For some reason, I need
Yeah,
to go
you-
in those
Yeah.
woods.
You
right
stay in
now.
here. Okay, actually, let's not get ahead of ourselves because I know DJ BJ has official notes on this chronologically.
Yeah.
So please lead the choir.
So once he's like, I need to go. I'm gonna go buy you some cigarettes because she wanted some cigarettes, and like that like it was like the. Oh wait, so they're about to have sex, and then there's the knock, like a pounding knock, and then some girl shows up at the door. And then like you can't see anything because the lights are turned off, and he tries flicking them, they don't work. She's asking for some random person that doesn't live there, and then she leaves.
She said, "I'll see you later."
I'll see you later. Mind you, this is 4 a.m, right in the middle of nowhere. And then the guy goes and turns the light bulb, and it's working, meaning that this girl or somebody undid the light so you couldn't see them.
Yeah.
This is where I want to start a segment called "Why People Don't Know How to Act." not in the sense of like they don't know how to do acting, because they're very good actors, but they don't know how to act in these fucking situations where your life is in danger, and they're oblivious to this.
Well, I think that's very racist, but I think it's more of how Hollywood movies want to portray like regular, middle of the country Americans type shit. Like, it's like, and a lot of this movie is a bunch of like, no, what the fuck are you doing?
I have notes too, and it's very similar because that girl was like so soft spoken and like really dumb in a lot of scenes.
Oh my god.
All right, John, continue on the because I'm about to jump just on anything, and I do want to keep an order of things.
So mind you, so he's like, after all this, he's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go get you some cigarettes in the middle of nowhere, 4 a.m. No, like that's it. No, like we either both go or nobody goes. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
And that was after the knock.
That was after the knock, and then there was a second knock.
And then she opens the door. I don't know how the door doesn't have a peephole that you can see through.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah,
The
man.
benefit of the doubt
Once
doesn't
again,
have
like,
it. It's just sheer
it's an
mahogany
old
wood.
door, whatever. I don't care. Yeah, it's like there's a lot more suspension of disbelief in this movie than I am comfortable with.
Yeah. And for some reason it doesn't bother me to the point where I discard it completely, but there is a lot of those moments where you're like, oh, come on, man. On the second knock, when the guy's already gone, that's when we first see the motherfucker in the mask inside the house.
Oh,
I'm getting scared just thinking about it.
And you're wearing
Yeah.
his mask.
And that's another thing. I am the guy, and it's scaring me.
It scares me to think all these people I've killed.
Oh my
And
goodness.
Nothing is
then-
locked. All the windows open. All the doors unlocked. They can enter and leave as they want, as they please. It's their
How
house.
do you how
guys
do
are
you
just
not
visiting.
how do you not do at 4 a.m. we're going into a random house, sweep the entire house, like you check every single door and window and all that bullshit? Like, how do you not do that?
All right. Well, first of all, let me push back on that a bit. If you're going to a cabin in a place that looks money, it's a
his
place
dad's
with
cabin.
money. Sorry.
It's his dad's cabin.
Right,
So
so
it is
that's
his
cabin. Yeah, but it is in a it's people with money. I'm pretty sure before these murders happened there, just people didn't expect anything to happen. It was one of those places where people leave doors open, and I don't see it out of place for them to arrive at 4 a.m. and not check the whole house. Now, when the first thing goes awry, right? The first little detail where I'm like, what? Dude, the first time that girl knocks the door and leaves, I'm like, all right, let's find a gun and lock everything.
Right.
Like that's like, I don't understand how you don't get creeped out about some random bitch knocking on your door at 4 a.m. and not even being like making sense. Just like, is Tamara here? Bitch, nope, Tamara has ever lived here.
No, yeah, and he goes and he has a conversation with her too.
Bitch, who the fuck is Tamara?
What up, Tamara?
Who the
Which
fuck are
Tamara
you?
is this? Is it the Tamara that did the tamales in the corner in a few years back? Which Tamara is this?
Coño.
Let me help you find her.
And
You
they
would do something like
they
that.
want you to think that at that time they're gonna get whatever attacked because you don't see the light in the back. It's dark. So but they don't do it, right? So they hold it back. There's a lot of these parts where they're gonna do something and they hold it back. She notices the little, I don't know if it's the fire extinguisher, the alarm, or the phone.
Smoke alarm.
Yeah,
it was on the floor and then it goes on the chair.
Then he moves. Her phone, I think it also gets moved, maybe a little later in the movie. But shit starts happening where you're like, bitch, obviously there's someone in the house and you need to get the fuck out.
Obviously.
Did you guys notice when the fireplace was on, the fire pit, and it was like a lot of smoke? You think that they blocked the chimney up top?
That's what I was thinking. Exactly.
Because at some point, like, she didn't turn off the fire. You would figure that the house would have gotten filled up with smoke. But that's,
But you know what's fucked? It's like
detail.
by that time, and I guess we're gonna have to agree on this. That I mean, the robbers, or well, they weren't even robbers, like the killers, they were fucking with them because if their intent was to just kill them, like they should have done this a lot quicker. You know, like the fact that they were blocking the chimney so that maybe she could get out. Well, we already know there's a guy inside, so there's a lot of those things where like, why are we still? And with the guys inside, they don't know, right? Up to one point, they don't know yet that there's a guy inside. They still think they're safe in the house. But there comes a point in the movie where they realize, okay, they've come in the house. At one point, those motherfuckers have to come here. And the movie still revolves around her being outside and thinking, oh, I gotta get to the house to be safe. And then when she's inside, she's like, oh no, I gotta get to the woods. And he's like, bitch, what the fuck are you, what is it you're thinking? Inside or
somewhere.
outside? Yeah, like, so I don't know why at one point she thought inside was safe, and then at another point she thought outside, and then she goes back inside. I don't, you know.
In the beginning, I would have gone in one room. You stay in one room with the shotgun waiting the entire night. Entire night, you wait until morning. Oof. Or you just run straight to the woods and you keep running in the woods. That's your best way of just losing them.
Right. Yeah. I mean, my ideal escape here would have been, once I have the shotgun, I've already killed my friend, right? You know. So life has just become horrible. This is a nightmare now. All right, now I grab my shotgun. You come with me, bitch, and you better marry me after this. And
put the ring on. Point the shotgun at her. Put it on.
And then we both walk out of the house, and leave and keep walking until we find another house and knock on their door and be like, hey, we need the cops. You know? But instead the guy's like, there's an old radio in the shack. What the fuck? Are we in 1930s and shit? There's an old radio in the shack. You stay in the house with the guy that's inside there already. I'm gonna go.
We can send a signal to somebody thousands of miles away.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
My favorite one was when he's out getting the cigarettes, and then she starts hearing the door. She starts hearing the window. She's the fire alarm thing falls down. Somebody picks it up for her, and she notices that there's people here, and she decides to like run to her room to I don't know do what, and she ends up like hurting her hand with the lamp. What were you doing? Like seriously, like these self-inflicted injuries that were unnecessary for no reason. Like I'm like, oh my god, this is where
that's why she was dumb, and so was he, because he didn't believe her at all for any of it. There's somebody in the house. No, shut up! I'm trying to find them.
That was the other thing, right?
No, shut your mouth.
Like he looks out the door. There's nobody here. I don't know what you're talking
about. In what world, right? I mean, I understand. Some of you might have a girlfriend that's quite annoying and dumb. I mean, that happens too. But even then, even if you have a dumb girlfriend, if you arrive at the house and she's panicking and she's telling you, dude, there's someone in the fucking house. It's like, I don't see the world where you reply with, come on, stop your things already. Like, no, this, like.
and at 4 in the morning.
After the knock.
Motherfucker.
After the creepy knock and visit from that girl.
Yeah. And she's telling her, no, this girl knocked again. She's out there. There's other people. Like, there's some shit going on. Come on.
And even when he goes outside to the car and he sees it all fucked up, he still doesn't believe, like, there's nobody here. Like, this is just what the fuck? Like something just happened out of nowhere. Like his car just got totaled. And it wasn't until somebody like touched him and then the other car that came, then he's like, okay, there's somebody here. Like
yeah. And I mean, that's a part, like, that's one of the parts when he gets touched, when he's in the car trying to make a run and he gets touched, where my girlfriend thought, oh, is this a ghost then? Because it touches him and then it disappears. And there were a lot of scenes where it almost seemed like it was ghostly, like they did something and then disappeared type shit. And that, it's not that it annoys me, because scary movies do this a lot, but it does bother me a little bit when things are too like hard to believe. Like, oh, he was there and then they turn back and then she disappears, and it's like, well, you would have noticed her running, like, it's all these shots that I understand they're effective for the scariness, but they're not fucking believable.
Consistent.
I think in that case, I can see where she would have just hit out of eyesight and like going below like the window line and just walked around the car or something like that.
You hear that? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, he heard the car. Like, remember the car was coming at that time. So, like, I mean, I can see where she could just disappear. But once again, in retrospect, I didn't think about it at that point in time. But now that you mentioned it, I see where this is not a typical slasher horror, like kill the people in the house. This is a fuck with you mentally. Like, we're gonna fuck with you this whole time until you're beaten to like the core, like your spirit's broken, and then like it's over.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. And they put on like the music and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it fucked up how, like, there's a lot of similarities with this movie and the movie we reviewed a few weeks ago, X, because the movie also starts with the ending, which is the 911 call. And then so you already are set up to something that is going to happen, and it's also shot in one place,
right?
One house in the middle of
the house. Yeah, the house.
And I think what you said there is very. Sorry, yeah.
No, it was in one of my notes too. Comparing the two movies, that it's interesting that for this movie it did have a way more serious feel than X. X was a lot more, at least I found it more like silly in a way, more like a Quentin Tarantino type of feel to it, as opposed to this one that was very serious and very high tension the whole time.
It was high tension. I was glad that it was less than an hour and a half for two reasons. One, because I love people that are able to keep it an hour and a half and tell a story that's compelling and has everything in it. Because it doesn't make you a better movie maker because you make 3 hour long movies. On the other hand, as well, that, like you said, that there's a tense to it that is you're scared the whole fucking time, man. And those masks do the trick. The music also in X, that music, when you add it to like a very creepy moment, it's like this happy song, and then to a creepy moment, it just creates this eerie feel that just fucks with you. And I think what you said there, John, is right. If I'm thinking like, why haven't they killed them yet? That's the wrong way of thinking. No. Their purpose is to fuck with them mentally first, because otherwise they could have killed them when she first knocked.
Well, yeah, shit. So during the movie, they take the girl's cell phone, and they take the guy's cell phone, and they start taking things like they start cutting like the phone lines and the power and all that stuff. Did they also take her shoes? Like, this is where again they don't know how to act. Like, you put like if you're gonna go run out into the woods, you need to put on some goddamn shoes, bruh.
And I think the guy even asked her. The guy's like, "Hey, put some shoes." She's like, "What's happening?"
She was really dumb, like really dumb.
Yeah, and she wanted to marry this girl. Oh my god.
Both of them were dumb.
He had a shotgun the whole time. It was only until things got real that he finally went to get it, found the bullets, and then barricaded himself in until his friend got there.
Like, this is how this movie would have ended quick. First knock comes, bitch asking for Tamara. You close the door. All right, where's that shotgun? And then you fill it in. You lock everything, and you're on the lookout. You know, fuck it. I would have called the cops right there. Hey, there's some random bitch at 4 a.m. Maybe you should help her. I think she's lost. You know?
Yeah. And he shouldn't have left. He would have his shotgun ready. She knocks again. He opens the door. Okay, Tamara's not here. Get the fuck off my property. With the shotgun, sends a clear message.
Movie's over.
Movie's over.
That's it. End of the movie. The strangers are dealt with.
No stranger no more.
The deceased.
And then the scene with the friend.
Mike. What the fuck?
Fucking Mike, man. What's up with like giving a heads up? He could have just screamed like, "Hey, Jamie, what's the guy's name? James.
Where you at, bro?
James, are you here? I see the doors open, bro. Are you okay?" No, walk around silently.
Oof.
And you can't blame Jamie. This motherfucker wasn't anything that comes through there.
He hit a good shot, dude.
Yeah, he got a
beautiful headshot.
Fucking headshot. That's like a Halo headshot. Like,
he knew exactly where the head was gonna be. One shot, one kill.
Yeah. You know, when you're playing video games, shooters, you have that reticle of the sniper ready where you know the head's gonna be. That's how he got him. It's like
instantly too.
And I know that it's hurtful if you shoot your friend in the head and kill him. That's hurtful. But you're still in danger. And this motherfucker's having like a whole cry marathon. Oh, my friend. Motherfucker, grab the shotgun. These guys are here.
Hello.
and he was right behind them too when that happened. He was about to kill Mike.
Yeah, true.
He was walking behind them. I didn't know what was going to happen. And then Mike was going to die.
Yeah, but the fucked up part is that the guy that killed him, not the guy that killed him, the bad guy that was going to kill him, when he sees that happen, I imagine him in the head being like, "Oh damn, I just got lucky here. I almost fucked up our whole legacy here." But yeah, part of the movie you feel like, okay, this can happen and it's a horrible and it's scary as fuck. Another part of you thinks, if he had a shotgun the whole time, you're like, there's no way you could have not gotten out. Like I don't understand how you not get out and you have a shotgun.
Well, we also didn't know how to use it.
Yeah, that didn't help.
So he said, he's like, I've never been hunting before unless Mike comes.
I never hit my targets unless I'm fucking quail hunting with Mike. In that case, I fucking go.
shooting Mike.
I go my cane on his ass and shoot him in the face.
Fuck.
Oh man! All right, so we get to a little further in the movie. He decides I'm gonna go to the shack so that I can use his old radio. You stay here. It's like, no,
But I
bitch.
want to go with you.
Whoever has a weapon, let's all stick together. Like,
Yeah,
No, he left her with nothing, like a candlestick.
yeah, she was like, okay, so I just look at my TikTok. Okay.
Oh, there wasn't TikTok back then.
No, I know, which is worse.
They had flip phones.
I'll go read a book.
Oh my god, that's where, like, come on, like, back to back, you walk all the way to the place. You see an emotion, anybody says, "Hey, look, turn around." That's it. Movie's over again.
if it was us, right? Gangster as fuck. I would have grabbed the shotgun. I tell John, you put your back with my back, and we're doing this fucking commando
You take a
style.
knife. You take two knives.
Yeah, shit.
Look, looking like Wolverine up in this bitch. For a moment, when the guy has a shotgun and he says, "We're not gonna die. I'm not gonna die," I'm like, oh fuck, I really want to see this movie end with like this guy coming back and like, da, 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 da. But no, that's not what happens.
At all. He died like a bitch. He was in the woods. I think he was like crawling or something or laying still, and then all of a sudden the guy jumped on him.
Yeah. Which also, like, why the fuck are you putting yourself in a vulnerable position? Like, let me go in the ground and walk. Like, no, dude, stand up and look everywhere and be ready for this shit. So, I don't know if people listening to this are like, I mean, I guess you could criticize this about every scary movie. But, you know,
I guess.
Let me give some credit where it's due, though. It is a scary movie that you don't see made too much these days. I mean, I guess you have this crime series like Jeffrey Dahmer and all these things, and that is crime that happens and murders. But this type of movie, this vulnerability, I haven't seen a movie like this in years. And the masks.
Maybe like Scream.
Yeah, but that wasn't. That's considered like a trasher, right? It's like these movies that are, well, kind of like X. X is kind of like a trasher, which is like
a slasher.
A slasher is slasher. What is a slasher? It's like a scary movie, but that has a lot of like little comedy bits. It's still like a scary movie, but it's more gory, some type shit. Like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre was like that, which Matthew McConaughey was in it, which is all right. But yeah, the strangers. Mike comes to the house. Mike is told, bro, you're drunk. When you wake up, come pick me up. Motherfucker comes at 5 a.m. Mike never wakes up before noon. And
I found out what slasher is. A slasher film is a genre of horror films involving a killer stalking and murdering a group of people, usually by use of bladed tools.
So this is a slasher.
This is a slasher.
Also, the killers, none of them had weapons, like an actual firearm. So
yeah,
again,
so shotgun put this guy at a complete advantage.
Yeah. I'm actually, like, I thought, like, if you were the killer and this guy shoots the guy in the head, you're like, oh no, let's get the fuck out of here, you know? Tammy, Samantha, we're going to the next town, you know? But no,
the next house.
But they were persistent. And it seemed to be like a guy and his 2 daughters, or like a guy and his 2 girlfriends. I kind of enjoyed the fact that they never really say anything about them, like history-wise, like their background. And at the end, when they release their faces, it makes you think you're gonna see their face, but then it doesn't show it to you. It shows you in a way so that you know the 2 main characters saw their face.
Right.
But it doesn't show you their faces. And I think that keeps it, because you know what? When they took off the masks, I saw the guy, the killer, and for a moment I was like, man, if he turns around and I see his face and he looks like a dumbass, my scary level is gonna drop. And the fact that you never see their faces, it keeps you like in this, tense situation where you don't know who the fuck these people are, and that makes it scarier.
The only one that you
ties
kind
back to the name.
the only one that you kind of see is Tamara, but then again, at the end of this, like that adds a very like insane concept of like anonymity. Like it could be anybody that could do this shit, like you don't know who it is. You don't even get to see the face, but once you do, that like that's it. Like once they reveal their face to you, you're gonna die, because that's their end goal. Like they want you to see them before you leave this earth,
Yeah.
and they want to see you, and you guys peer into each other's souls as your life is leaving your body.
And also, if you thought up to this point that these people just wanted to rob you, like let's say you got lucky, like, oh, maybe they just want to rob us. Once they take off their masks, like, they're not going to leave you alive, because now you know their faces.
Exactly.
Right.
So it says, and then, that final scene with the killings, even though it's not super gory, it's mad intense, because they do it so casual with the sticking of the knife, and it almost feels like the guy was kind of like teaching the girls, like, oh, this is how you do it, now try with this guy type shit. And now that that Adrian mentions that this had a little inspiration on the Charles Manson, you're like, oh, I get it now, because it was that sickness, right? It wasn't like these people that looked like criminals or shit. It was just like this probably sick individuals, right? That looked like a normal girl, but then she's stabbing a girl, another girl, another guy in the fucking belly, and watching them like die. Man, that shit, like, and you realize at that point when they're being stabbed, like, oh no, this ends like this. There's no happy ending. There's no revenge. There's nothing. Like, this ends like this.
Yeah, this is over. It was a moment of intense tension, followed by release.
When they die,
like, because you're tense like the whole time. You're like, and then they fucking die, and then
it is crazy with these movies. I specifically, I get so tense and anxious for them that when the killing actually happens, you're like, all right, good, okay.
Yeah. Like, at least they're fucking dead already. Like,
all right, that's it.
This is.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy how these movies can get you to those points. And I think that there's people that say, no, scary movies don't scare me because I don't believe in ghosts and shit like that. But this shit, I think it scares anyone, because it's such a relatable situation. And that wording at the beginning of the movie that says, every year the FBI reports that 1.4 million, violent
homicides or whatever the fuck,
crimes happen, which I would guess that includes a bunch of them that don't end up in death. Because imagine 1.4 people get murdered a year in the US. Like, I'm not sure if that's the case.
1.4 million? Yeah.
That's a lot of people. I don't think that, but I'm guessing that's also including people that got stabbed and survived,
Yeah, or getting mugged on the street. Could be.
Yeah, that's a violent crime, too.
But didn't it say 1.4 million people die from a violent crime?
No.
It says the FBI reports that there are 1.4 violent crimes every year.
Oh, 1.4 violent crimes. Oh, okay.
So I'm guessing that includes anything that's a little violent.
That could be a fist fight.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that too.
Okay.
Bro, the anonymity factor of it all scares the fucking living shit out of me. And also that line that she says at the end of the movie, giving her explanation as to why they wanted to kill them, and just because that they were home. When I saw it the first time, this movie scared the living shit out of me, because it was just so, what we say, RNG, just like pure happen chance that, like, you're home and we just felt like killing you because you were home. And there's no rhyme, there's no reason. It was just their time to go that way.
Well, actually, what you just said is cool. It's like, it makes it scarier because it could have maybe not been your time. That I think that's what really that would mean. It's not that it was your time, because if somebody is meaning to kill you and they plan to kill you because they hate you or whatever, okay, that's your time. But if it happens that these motherfuckers were driving and then they saw that house, like, oh, let's go in here, That's scarier because that's like I could have almost not been murdered, but then by happen chance or by happenstance, this motherfucker just decided to come here because, you know, Tamara had to take a shit in the woods.
Well, yeah, I meant your time as in like in a religious way, like, you know, that's the way that your life was supposed to go. But anyway.
No.
Yeah,
and
just
that's valid
pure
too. That's
randomness.
valid too. But the pure randomness also makes you feel like, oh fuck, I maybe could have not gotten killed by a little bit, but you know, chance fucked me over. All right, let's get to that final scene, well, the real final scene when the Jehovah Witnesses boys are getting to the house. Well, before they get to the house, the truck passes by with the killers.
Oh my god.
And then they get down and get a pamphlet. That was fucking weird. Then the kids continue to go. They get to the house. And then you realize that... Sorry, yeah?
So, no, that was like... They get down because they see the kids. The girl comes up to him and she's like, oh, can I have a pamphlet? And he's like, well, are you a sinner? And she's like, sometimes. And they're like, he hands her the pamphlet, and they just go into the car and they leave. Like very casual. Like this is some things they do like on the weekends, like for fun, like a family thing.
Next time is gonna be smoother or something like that.
Next time it will be easier.
Yes.
Easier.
Oh my goodness.
And
So
I'm
it did seem like a training montage for them. Like if we were gonna see it.
They watch the tape later.
Oh, okay. So it could have meant that next time it would be easier for you to kill them because you won't feel as bad or something, or you'll be more experienced. I took it more as next time we'll get some people that are less hard to kill, like less resistant. Right. And I'm like, easier than this fucking dumbasses? Like they did everything completely wrong at every step. Yeah. But you know, it even though you have to suspend belief, it is true that they didn't have phones. It is true that they were in the middle of nowhere. So it does put you in that situation where you're like, what do you do in a situation like that and you have no way of reaching anyone? That added an extra level of tension.
Because not even the shotgun sound. Like, I guess they have no neighbors nearby, because after you shoot that one shot, your neighbor would be like, yo, Billy, are you all right? What the fuck's going on over there?
Yeah, or call the cops, like, hey, somebody.
Right.
They had kind of established that those were like vacation homes. So there might not necessarily be anybody there in those neighboring houses.
Yeah. So to Kiko's point, what the fuck do you do in that sort of situation? He should have just bunkered up.
Yeah, you have a shotgun. You bunker up. You chill out. Hey, wait until this day.
You Fortnite this bitch out. You know, you... And they almost
but instead
had
they
it.
open all the windows.
They almost had it. You know what? Like, when they kill their buddy, okay, you killed them, you cried. Okay, now you go back in the position you were in.
Yeah.
Load that bitch up and wait for another motherfucker to come. Like,
yeah, instead he threw his gun on the floor and he's like, "You'll never believe what I did." Ah!
But even after
I need to get out of here.
They left. Part of me thought, okay, this guy, the friend just got killed. He's gonna be like, you know what? Fuck this. I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm coming out and killing these fuckers. And then he would just make stupid decisions. He should have just walked. Like, after he killed his buddy, he should have grabbed the gun, the girl, and then walk out of the house together and just walk, like leave, like just walk, keep walking, and then keep looking around. You can have a knife or whatever, but I have a shotgun.
Or go onto his friend's car, the friend that just showed up. Golly.
All right, going a little back. The friend, he arrives and immediately they throw like a rock or something. I don't know what the fuck it is that they throw.
They shatter his windshield.
Yeah, like right then you get in the car and you leave. And you go to the cops and you're like, some shit's happening there. No, let me walk very casually throughout the whole house.
Through the back door. Not even through the front door. Through the back fucking door.
He sees their car totaled. And he's like, weird. I guess they had a wild night. Whatever.
100%. He has to see the front door all fucked up. With like the hole and the fucking...
that too. He picks up the axe.
He picked up
the fucking axe, and he was walking in the house with it.
The guy,
the bad guy
the bad guy behind him. that was
I
about
was
to
like,
fuck him up.
dude. Like he's just like ignoring all these red flags. Like, no, this is perfectly fine. This is normal fucking human behavior and shit. At five
And
in
then,
the morning.
and then when the guy was behind him, he looks back and he's like, oh.
Never mind. He looked back and he's like, nah, I don't want to die with an axe to my neck. Give me a shotty, one go.
Right here, make it quick.
God damn.
Now, well, we knew that the friend was coming, and the whole time it leads to it. You kind of know he's gonna shoot him because it's just waiting for it. That put me to think, like, man, what if you're in a situation like that? That's gotta be like a nightmare. Where you like, and then somebody comes and he's like a friend of yours, you shoot him.
Yeah, because you would never think that the friend would show up like that and then not say anything.
Yeah. At the end, when the Jehovah's Witnesses come, I realized that the 911 call from the beginning is them.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Jordan is scarred for life.
But Jordan was like screaming, I guess because that's after he found the bodies, but they went into it very like normal. They looked like they almost, oh, we're cool with this blood. Okay.
Like crime detective? Like CSI?
Yeah.
So I guess nobody's here to take my pamphlets?
We need to get to the bottom of this. We need to get to the
Did I go
bottom
to
of
the
this.
next house?
The pastor said, if they don't answer the door, you go in and you find them.
Even if there's bodies on the floor.
And you say the word of the Lord.
Like they got specialized training to deal with this, and
He's like, your best chance is going to places where they just murder people, because they're gonna be more receptive to God and shit. No, but okay, so the boys go in and then they find the body of the girl and she screams like, ah. It ended there, and I'm like, come on. I know you're gonna leave some cliffhangers, but everything's gonna be a cliffhanger. Like, does she die? I'm pretty sure she has to die. You don't get stabbed like that and not die.
I think that was kind of weak. I think they just did that for the last like final scare factor.
Yeah.
Get the audience a little jumpy.
Yeah, but I think that was a cheap
they
one.
just
Shouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, they should have just left her dead.
yeah, I agree.
Liv Tyler, what do you guys think of her as an actress?
And this one, horrendous.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she's pretty cute, but yeah, it doesn't seem like she brings too much of the artistic essence to the shit. It's just her like being annoying the whole time.
I wrote down when they go to the flashback of like at the wedding, right before he proposes, like she's talking to no, she's not even talking, she's just listening to the conversation of the table, and then he's like sits next to her and you're listening to the conversation, but it's like a normal conversation, and all of a sudden she starts laughing like like there's nothing in the conversation that calls for her to laugh.
That's right. I noticed that too. Like, I'm like, who is she listening to that she's laughing at this?
What is she? No, this is
No. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
All right. Well, on the Broski Doodles meters, I will give this movie, I'm gonna give it a 6. And that's a lot to give to this movie, because I do gotta give it credit that the essence of the movie and the concept is original and not this repeated bullshit that you see in horror films. Like, I think it did bring new things, like even since that time, I don't remember a movie these days that brings those concepts in, that mask that looks weird. Like, it's just mad scary and different. And yeah, I'll give it a 6 for a scary movie. I don't think it's bad, and it's short. I like the fact that it's short to the point. But it does feel long sometimes. You're like, oh, boy, something happened.
Yeah, it was short. It was an hour and 20 minutes. It wasn't bad at all.
Nah. What do you guys give it in the meter?
I give it a 7. I give it a 7, not because the movie was amazing or anything, but just because of the lasting effect that the movie had on me. The first time I saw it, 10 plus years ago. I guess when it came out, I saw that shit and was terrified just because of that happenstance of just being in the wrong place at the wrong time and getting murdered for absolutely no reason. It's a concept that scares the hell out of me because you never know. It's not like the demon movies where you can have an argument that it's not true or whatever the hell, and it's all in your head type of thing. And it's like people having mental issues or whatever. But in this case, yeah, that's something that could very easily happen, and you picture yourself asking yourself, what do I do in this situation?
Okay, a seven. You're bringing in part of the nostalgia from the back in the day when you saw it over 10 years ago, 14 years ago. Okay. What do you give it, DJ BJ?
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was not scared from this movie. Like, I was scared initially. Like, it was more the tension, the buildup of the tension that really was like there. Like, it was like, at the edge of your seat, you're like what's gonna happen next? But the issue for me was the frustration with these characters. And like, I was more, like, at the end of it, I was more frustrated with these people than I was actually scared of the strangers. Like, like the frustration, like I was scared, but the frustration, like I was just mad. I was more mad than scared. I was like,
John's like, put me in this situation. Somebody try and rob me.
Put me in, coach. Fuck.
I'll show you I was done.
Johnny's like, yeah. Just kill these fuckers. They don't deserve to live. I've always been just very safe and aware of these things, and where I live now is a place that only has one access, one door, right? And I like that. I like knowing that I lock something up, that's the only access. I find it scary, and I don't know what's gonna happen. When the broski doodles blow up and we get a lot of money, we need to start buying, houses and shit. But when I see these movies, it scares me to have a house that has so many access. Like a door in the back and the side, and like I don't want that. Like, I want a bunker.
One in, one out.
One in, one out.
Like a fucking jail cell. One window, one door.
We're living in a cage. Yeah, I mean...
No, it got me thinking, do I need a gun? If I lived on my own, I have 2 kids, I gotta protect them. Like, what do I even if somebody just came in with a knife, how do I protect anybody?
Bro, 30 minutes into the movie, I'm like, yeah, we need the Second Amendment. Yeah, we...
I'm getting a gun right now.
Where's Governor DeSantis? Yeah, we need to speak, man. We need to speak. We need to actually expand the Second Amendment to
mandatory having guns.
It definitely wanted me to it was more of like a campaign. Like, look, you need a gun. Like, you need to get a gun for your protection, and not just get it, know how to use it, because that was a big issue. Have proper training.
Retard.
Yeah.
Well, so he says.
When we've talked about guns in this podcast, we said that although we support the Second Amendment, we also support people being correctly trained with guns.
All right.
For them to know how to act in normal situations when they don't need to shoot nobody, and know how to act when they do need to shoot somebody. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And you said you would go hunting with your dad. I just said that to make you wet.
I never did. I tell that to everyone.
I lied to you so you can go out with me. But oh my god! So yeah, like, just because of the whole frustration thing, and the fear, and like the tension was there, all that stuff. I have to give it a 5.
Okay.
I have to give it a 5.
5, 6, 7. Average of 6. I think it makes sense. I think it's fair. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, The Strangers. I mean, this one scared the fuck out of me. Even though I thought that they were stupid and I was frustrated, I just always, the tension was there. And yeah, I think it was enjoyable, and one of those movies that you can't complain. It's an hour and 20 minutes. Quick, to the point. Let's get it going, and we out.
This is definitely like a movie you'd watch with your girl.
Yeah. It's a perfect movie to watch if you're starting to date.
Ooh.
Because you need those movies where, like, yeah, baby, I'll protect you.
Like I'll protect.
You don't even have a gun, you lying ass.
I got these guns right here.
Baby, I got you. No, I got you. Unless it's 3 psychos with fucking machetes.
Although it does bring up a good conversation.
It was like butcher knives. Yeah.
When you're watching this with your girl, you're like, all right, in this situation, I would do this, you would do this. You know, they're dumb, right?
Yeah,
we would do this better.
Yeah, like...
Yeah, I was... I was a little bit like talking back and forth about our strategy. Like, you wouldn't do that, right?
Right.
If I leave to buy cigarettes, you wouldn't open the door, right?
No, like the lamp. Like, how do you cut yourself with a lamp?
I think because the lamp was sounding, it had a sound or something, and she wanted to turn it off.
She was because they were knocking on the window, so she got it and like she tried to throw it or something, and like it smashed and it cut herself. And like, oh my goodness gracious!
Yeah, she's just like abnormally dumb.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
And then the ankle. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
She breaks
her ankle.
She twists her ankle. And then all of a sudden she's fine, and then she's like it's hurting again. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious.
And I mean, again, this is suspend belief, but like, she's in the shed or the shack, whatever the fuck. She gets caught right before she's able to send a radio signal to, I don't know, whoever the fuck uses a radio, and one of the killers like smashes the thing, and then she just crawls out and is able to escape again. I'm like, this bitch is crawling everywhere, and so
she made it to the house faster than these people that are walking.
So I guess that we either have to suspend belief, or they purposely are letting them wander to like have more fun with it. If you tell me that's the case, then I buy it, and I'm like, okay, then that makes sense. But it's like, how many times do they need to catch these people and they keep getting away with like one foot, like
that concept? I didn't think about that at the time. The whole movie, like 30 minutes in, I was like, why aren't these people already dead?
Yeah. They would have done.
Now that we have this conversation about, like, they're not there to just straightly kill them. They're there to fuck around with them and then kill them. They're like they're prey.
Yeah.
So they have to like let them like bleed out.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, it is obvious that now that we talk about it, it's part of the plan, fucking with their mind and breaking them down.
If that's the case, like seeing it that way, I can give it a point boost because of that concept. Because like at the time I was thinking about it just a slasher, like they're just there to kill, but then it became like a psychological slasher where they're messing with their mind. That adds to it. That adds it. I would give it I could give it a 6 comfortably, knowing that it was that. But if we were going into like, oh, these are just killers, no, like she should have been dead way. These people should have been dead a long time ago.
Right, but then there's no movie
because
either,
of this
right?
life. She shouldn't have even like crossing the road. She should have died when she was like 11. She's no moral.
Like she didn't even make it to the cabin. Like,
we gotta suspend belief that she was able to make it alive all the way to this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Liv Tyler. Liv Tyler.
God.
No, all right, guys. Sorry. No,
that's it. Yeah. No, it's over. We're actually waiting for the tomato score. Is that what it is?
Oh,
I looked it up. The IMDb is 6.1.
Okay.
Tomatoes is 48%.
With the adjusted score, we get a 6.3 repeating.
Okay, that's a famous one here. 7.3, 6.3 repeating. We tend to have those a lot. All right, well, that's the official score. Thanks for tuning in. Let us know what you think of this movie, what you think of this review. It's been a long one. It's an hour-long episode, but this movie had a lot to talk about. Thank you all for tuning in. Broski Doodle out.
Lock your windows, lock your doors.